Hi friends, welcome back to Nestle's Nook. So today I'm going to try something I have cooked before, but not this way. I know you guys see me talk about the Hotlogic minis and the Hotlogics and stuff like that. Down below is always that 20% off coupon to save yourself 20% off. I will be having another Hotlogic up for a contest here shortly. But meanwhile, I was thinking because, about a week ago we made the hamburgers for lunch. Now, I have my Salisbury steak patties that I make myself, and because I know that put off a lot of grease. So these are frozen, and what I'm going to do is cook these for a good hour, dump off what grease, then I'm going to make up my gravy mix, add the mushrooms and the stuff like that, and then we'll finish cooking it. So what's going to happen is I have here my Hotlogic mini, my pink one. And I'll bring it down here and show you what I want to do here. So we have the Hotlogic, so I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on here. And then what's going to happen is this is already plugged in, and I'm going to go ahead and just zip this up. And I will come back here in about hour and a half or so, dump out what grease, because I realized, because I'm using 80-20, that this is going to have quite a bit of grease, so I don't want to have that actually in my gravy because I think that'd be really gross. So I will dump out that extra grease, and then we will make up the gravy mix. And then what's going to happen is I am going to go ahead and remake up some fresh potatoes. I'll be putting those in my Hotlogic, pushing them through that grate thing that I showed you guys on that one video. So we will have fresh, mashed potatoes. And I'm thinking, I'm not for sure, Mark really likes the green beans, but I want to have something else other than green beans. So I might make up some broccoli and have some steamed broccoli with that or something. But meanwhile, this will be cooking for like that minute or so, or an hour. And then I'll bring you back and show you like how much grease came off that with the 80-20, and then add the rest of the stuff, and then we'll get dinner going here. Alright, so it's been a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I didn't realize I had a meeting today at work, and life just happens. So there's not as much grease in here, and I'm wondering if it's because I have oatmeal, so it may have soaked up some of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and just pour out this grease, which really is not that much grease, honestly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over to the stove, which obviously you can see that that's not very much at all. I could have probably went without mixing it or taking it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the stove, and I am going to mix up a couple cups of my homemade brown gravy to put in here, and I'll show you what that's looking like. Alright, this gravy is going to pull together really well. I'll connect this video to make your own brown gravy mix. And you need 2 tablespoons for 1 cup. I'm making 2 cups of the mix. Alright. So what I usually do with this first, I know Sally was asking, why aren't you using your little whirligig? And I'm like, I don't know. So usually I have like this little frother. I just call it my whirligig. And I just kind of separate that flour just a little bit, and then I just go ahead and turn this on. Now, because this is my instant hot water from the sink, this is going to turn very fast actually into the gravy. Okay. Now, because I am wanting to put this with, I don't know if you can see like the color. The color is a really nice, like tan color. Something on my finger, ouch. Anyway, so I like to use the Banquet browning mix. And you don't have to put too much in there. Just a little bit, and it's going to help change the color. I'll show you that really quick. See how it automatically just changed to the nice brown color that you would get from the brown gravy in the store. Doing it this way is so much cheaper. It's so much cheaper. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in some of my homemade onion soup mix. I always give that a shake before I pour some in. I'm just doing this for some extra flavor. And I was going to add some onions, but this already has the dehydrated onions. I'm going to take some of my freeze-dried mushrooms, which you could use fresh or none or whatever you want, because this is your meal, not mine. You know, of course this is mine, but so what's going to happen is I'm going to let this set for just a little bit, probably about a minute. I'm not going to keep the camera running because I'm sure you guys don't need to see something boiling, but this will be ready in about 1 minute. Now this is a good 30 seconds into this. Like I said, I mean it thickens up really super fast. I'll keep stirring this for a minute because it gets thick really fast. I'm going to go ahead and shut that off. As you can see, it's already kind of thick, but it's going to get thicker while it's setting actually in the Hotlogic. I'll bring it back over to the island. So I grab the gravy from the stove, and as you can see up close, very nice look. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that over the Salisbury patties. And as you can see, it pretty much covers them. I mean, I'm sure the meat is already cooked all the way, but one thing about the Hotlogic, it doesn't overcook. So what's going to happen is there's going to be enough gravy for this for tonight, and then whatever amount Mark takes for dinner, for lunches, because he also takes his meals in the Hotlogic Mini also. So go ahead and re-zip this back up. I'm just going to go ahead and let that set. Next thing you're going to see is me actually doing the Instapot and showing you how I do the potatoes the other way now. Alright, so time got away from me today. Things have been just crazy. So I did not do my Instapot potatoes. I'm just going to go ahead and do the instant potatoes. And we are going to have green beans because I also didn't have time to do the broccoli. So I mean, the thing is, things happen, you know what I'm saying? It just happens. So what's going to happen is this is pretty much already ready to go. And this is a pretty hands-off meal, honestly. Let me unplug this because it doesn't need to stay on now. So, I mean, even though I've got stuff on the stove, the green beans, you know what I'm saying? This is just pretty much ready to go. So let me pull out a couple plates here. And I need to pull the thing out here. Did you want one or two, Mark?
Let me start with one.
Yeah, I'll start with one. All right. So, what I'll do is kind of stir up the gravy, even though I just made a big mess. They don't call me Messy Nessie for nothing. So anyways, just put that over here. The potatoes are done, as you can see. Mark's tea is being done right now. And that's one thing about like meals like this. I mean, you could easily change things around to what you need or what time permits. Give that another couple seconds here. Now I like the gravy on both my potatoes and a little bit on my meat. I'll do the same to Mark's. Alright, and we'll just do up the green beans. Now, when I pull this out, I'll be washing off that bottom plate. And the green beans are done. I just did the canned green beans, added a little bit of pepper to it. likes green beans more than I do. I mean, I like green beans, but I prefer the green beans and the bacon, and he's not a super big fan of that. So anyways, this is the Hotlogic Minis, frozen Salisbury steak, and then we added the gravy to it, and then just instant potatoes and green beans. So this is tonight's meal. Hopefully that you like that. Tomorrow, you want to check, well, the next day on this is you're going to want to check. I do have, Mark saw some Stouffer's lasagna, and he's like, oh, we've not had that in years. I said, I don't remember the last time we even had a Stouffer's lasagna, honestly, but he thought it looked good, so I ordered one in, and I'll be making that, warming that up in the Hotlogic family size. Now remember, there is always a 20% discount down below in my description, and of course, and I always have everything that I use actually in my Amazon store. Now I don't have the Hotlogics in my Amazon store because I buy them straightly from Hotlogic themselves. So definitely, you know, if you're looking for one of these, they do have Hotlogics actually where you could just plug them into the cigarette lighter if you travel a lot. Mark, when he was in the semi, he had like an inverter, so he could actually plug it into like a real plug from the cigarette lighter. So it worked out either way. So let me know if you have any comments down below and what you thought of dinner, and if this is something that you would do. And thank you very much for stopping by. You have a very blessed and wonderful day.